It's Do Time with Pastor Steph.
And good morning. Rise and shine. You're on with this Due Time with Pastor Steph. How are you this morning? That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. For this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So, where were you yesterday? Yesterday we got to talking to Vivian and her socially conscious segment. And we talked about a couple things, as we always do. And one of the things we talked about is the fact that Bronx Week is officially back. Yep. Vivian said, hey, you know what? If you were going to scrounge up money and hit up the people, because that's what happened when the community heard that it was not going to be so this year because of financial strains on the city. Everybody rallied together and they got their pennies together, and maybe a couple of celebrities came out, and maybe the Yankees did stop by and drop $1 in the bucket, and they got to getting this hair together again. So, that's what happens when you rally together. You can actually get it done. So that's what happened. And like I said, Vivian said, listen, you could have, gone and gotten those people before you made the announcement. And I personally believe that, that might be a ploy. They may have done that to kind of get the city stimulated and let them come up with the ducats. Yeah, you never know. Well, also, New York City, that crosswalk rule is enhanced. It is not new. It's got to be 3 decades old, where you can't be in the middle of the intersection with your car. You can't be sitting in the crosswalk with your car. When you can't wait for that, the pedestrians to walk through, and you start inching up and you in the crosswalk. Well, they're putting out tons of cameras, and they're going to fine you at least $115. Now, if you want to run the risk of getting that ticket, you shall. Remember, it's just like they have those cameras on the back of the buses and in those lanes. So if you drive in that bus lane, you get the ticket. So if you're in that crosswalk and you're not allowing the pedestrians to do, to get across the street the way they need to, yes, you will get the ticket. So it's up to you. Now, Mayor Mom Donnie thinks he's doing something, because he's saying by the end of 2029, there will be 5 governmental grocery stores open. And this is to kind of defray the cost of the renters' responsibility, to make it more affordable. Therefore, they can make the prices a little cheaper, because their rent is not as high. And, where some may be excited and, rejoicing, I'm trying to figure out, well, what difference is it going to make? In New York City, there are stores on every corner, just like churches. So it's not like a church that might make a difference, but what is going to be the difference when you put one more store on one more corner where there are 4 or 5 of them already? So I don't know. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed at all. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm just simply not impressed. And we got to talking, the ladies and I got to talking about those phrases that men use that, indicate that they're not really being straight with you. And boy, we had a nice time laughing at the fact that some men said, I'm putting relationships on the back burner right now. Yeah, that's because he ain't trying to commit to you. Yes. So you know what? Pay attention, ladies. You're going to make someone very happy someday. That's because he's not trying to make a commitment to you, and now he's trying to push you off so that you can feel a little bit about yourself. Now, the other one that was a little interesting was you're prettier without makeup. And that one is kind of, could be a good, could be bad, just could be a man that just does not simply like makeup. Not every man likes makeup. No, it's very true. They like natural beauty. And then some, Shanti said, well, there might be some men who might be trying to suppress that woman. And that's why he don't want her dressed up and dolled up for any other man out there. So it could go either way. It could go either way. Well, that's how we spent our Wednesday. Well, today is Therapeutic Thursday, the day we talk about our health in any shape, form, or fashion. So I say, let's get going. Let's get this party started. Go ahead and get that healthy breakfast. Go ahead and tell somebody, anybody, everybody that It's Due Time with Pastor Steph is on. And whatever you do, don't go anywhere because we will be right back.
All grow up and the work gets hard. And for some of us, we feel it's too hard. And we take matters into our own hands because we don't think it'll get easier. But it will. Anybody out there who may be struggling right now because you feel that life is too hard for you. And I've been there where I thought that it wasn't going to get better, but it did. So I want to encourage anybody out there right now who you are thinking about giving up. It will get better. You just got to hold on and don't give up. Joy will come again. You just got to believe it. You got to hold on. You got to fight for your life. Okay, sometimes that's what it feels like. Sometimes it feels like you gotta fight for your life. But you deserve that. You are worthy to be here. We all grow up.
Good morning, and good morning again. Welcome back to It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. And it is Therapeutic Thursday. Yesterday, we talk about our health in any shape, form, or fashion. That could be physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, financial health, any kind of health. The Due Time crew knows how to get it done. And it will get done here. Most times on the comical side, because I'm going to tell you something. The Due Time crew has definitely learned that laughter is the best medicine. Yeah, we have a good time over here. So if you're in the room, you're going to have to let me know you're in the room so that I can say good morning to you. All right? So please make sure you check in. We got to check in from our girl, Ketty. Hey, Ketty girl. Thank you so much for saying good morning, number one. Yes, that is the first one to jump on that boat she beat, Serge and Your Highness Terrence. Well, thank you, Katie. This background, girl, it's the summertime and I have relocated. Woo! Now, I've been loving my background with my fireplace and the fireside chat and the lights and all of that. And I got to tell you, I'm going to have to find me some new virtual ones because those backgrounds take a lot of work. And it's the summertime now. And now it's like all that stuff is clogging up the area. And it needs to be cool. So we're going to take our time this summer and get some beautiful virtual backgrounds for you. And we're going to enjoy our time together. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for noticing. All right. Who else is in the room with us? We got a check-in from, who's that? Oh, our lady Tamika, good morning. How are you? Thank you for joining us on that side of the fence. So we can't wait till we get to chatting with you this morning. And we got our ladies in the room who make sure we are held down each and every day. We got our girl Shantice. Hey, Shantice. Thank you so much. And we got our girl Anika. Thank you so much for always making sure we are up and running. Miss Grace, if you're out there, girl, it's going to be 81 degrees. I hope you are ready and you are doing well this morning. All righty. All right. So let's talk about our health tip this morning. Now, you know, every once in a while we won't do our stomachs, like what food we're ingesting. We'll talk about our eyes. We'll talk about our teeth. This morning, we're going to talk about our teeth. We're going to talk about the foods that actually help our teeth. Yeah, because we have to remember that what we eat can tear our teeth down. Yeah, so I think maybe Monday, I'll try to find some foods that will destroy our teeth and gums. But today we're looking on the upside, the things that we eat that will help our teeth. Well, the first thing they talk about is cheese. Why? Because cheese provides that calcium. They call cheese the calcium powerhouse for stronger enamel. Yeah. So they say cheese has been shown to increase the pH in our mouth, which can lower the risk of tooth decay. Yeah. The high calcium and phosphate content helps strengthen tooth enamel and even repairs tiny defects. Plus, the act of chewing cheese, all right, will strengthen that tooth enamel and even repair other little parts of our mouths, and it will strengthen the tooth enamel and even get that saliva production going on, and that washes away harmful bacteria. All right, they did a study and it confirms that people who regularly ate cheese have fewer cavities compared to those who don't. Well, baby, I must have zero calories because I have been the cheese queen these last couple months. All righty. So they say that creamy texture also forms a protective layer over our teeth, which shields it from the acids that we eat. Yeah, acids from the foods. All right. What about those apples? Apples came up on our Monday health tip. Well, those crunchy apples are back. They're calling on the nature's toothbrush. Wow, interesting. So they say when you bite into a crisp apple, it actually acts like a toothbrush. Wow. They say the fibrous texture of the apples help to scrub away plaque and food particles from the teeth. Apples also stimulate your gums, which boosts blood flow and keeps gum tissue healthy. So they say apples contain natural sugars. Their high water content dilutes the sugar and encourages saliva production. We just got finished talking about that production helps to wash the bacteria away. So get that apple. Eat the apple a day. Keeps the dentist away as well. All right. Yogurt. All right. Those of us who have been eating that Greek yogurt, plain yogurt, that's the bacteria, the friendly bacteria for your mouth, they say. Now, the yogurt we know is full of probiotics, but they're also saying that yogurt is great for your teeth because it will lower the rate of gum disease and bad breath. The probiotics in yogurt will wash away harmful bacteria in your mouth, reducing the number of risks towards cavities as well. Wow. Yogurt is rich in calcium, protein, and will help to strengthen your teeth. Now, they say importantly, plain yogurt, unsweetened yogurt is best because added sugars cancel out all the benefits. So in other words, when you eat the Dannon yogurt, the yogurt with all the fruit in it, all that sugar will cancel out all the benefits that we've just been finished talking about. Okay, so they say make sure you eat as much plain yogurt, Greek yogurt as you possibly can. All right. Leafy greens are back on the list. Yo, who would have thought leafy greens is also good for the vitamin boost of your smile? Oh, excuse me. Wow. They say that spinach, that kale, again, packed with vitamins and minerals, support your healthy teeth and gums. They say higher levels of calcium help to build the tooth enamel and folic acid as they contain and treat and prevent gum disease. They also have done studies that show that people who added more leafy greens to their diet significantly had less gum bleeding and inflammation. Alrighty. So they say also the fiber in the greens help to scrub your teeth as you chew, providing a gentle cleaning effect. Yo, who would have thought all of this was going on? All right. They also say that eating your greens stimulate that saliva production, and we talked about the benefits of that. Wow. Carrots, not only for your eyes. We just did carrots the other day. Boy, carrots is a monster. Yes, crunchy defenders against plaque. Wow. So carrot scrub brushes your teeth. Wow. They say that the chewing of raw carrots increases saliva. Not only does it wash away the bacteria, but in doing so, they say it rinses away plaque and food debris. Wow. So that, because carrots are also loaded with vitamin A, that's essential to the membranes, the mucus membranes in your mouth and keeping your gums healthy. Yo, eating healthy, it's a beast. It's a beast. Green tea. Every time they say green tea, I always show y'all my glass. Yep. Natural defender against cavities. All right. Green tea is known for antioxidants, as we know. And they say that green tea contains the polyphenols, which reduce the growth of cavities and controls your bad breath. The fluoride found naturally in some green teas adds an extra layer of protection by strengthening your tooth enamel. So regular drinkers of green tea were shown to have lower rates of gum disease and tooth loss. Nice. Now, because green tea, people tend not to put sugar in green tea, they say that it will definitely protect against the added sugar that you normally have. Strawberries. the whitening wonder of your teeth. So you have the malic acid that's in strawberries. They have naturally been able to whiten your teeth. Wow. They say studies show that malic acid in strawberries help to remove surface stains and brightens your smile. Also full of vitamin C, it helps to maintain your healthy gums and prevent gum disease. So the fiber in strawberries gently scrub the teeth as you chew, acting as a mild abrasive. And as strawberries don't contain natural sugar, the benefits of that definitely outweigh when you eat your candy and your cakes and all of that kind of stuff. All right. Now, they say that the dentists recommend mashing up your strawberries and mixing it with baking soda as a safe at-home whitening treatment. Yo, throw that other stuff out. You got natural. Remember, let me tell you something. I keep telling y'all, baking soda and vinegar had to be created by God. Because when I tell you anything you need, go to your baking soda and vinegar. Baking soda, mashed up strawberries. Get those teeth whitened. Wow. Celery. They say the unsung hero of oral hygiene. It should, because those celery strings get off in your teeth. All right. So they say that a study showed that the stringy texture, I told you those stringy things, I can't stand them stringy things. You should be able to use them for dental floss. Well, the stringy texture of the celery acts like dental. Let me tell you something. God gives you a certain level of wisdom. I didn't read this. Y'all know how to read this stuff beforehand. But I just instantaneously thought about those stupid strings. And that's why I said they should act like dental floss. And sure enough, they say a 2024 study shows that the stringy texture of celery acts like dental floss, cleaning between the teeth and stimulating your gums as you chew. They say being that celery is mostly water, it will help keep your mouth hydrated and washes away those food particles. Also, because celery is high in vitamin K and antioxidants, supporting overall gum health. They found that people who include celery in their diet have fewer dental issues and less plaque buildup. All righty. So make sure you take that celery and pop it off and get annoyed. Oh, can't stand it. Nuts on the list. So we have our traditional things that are on the list for your teeth as well. So we got the nuts, the leafy greens, and the berries. Always on the list for everything. So nuts, they say, the minerals in the nuts, like almonds, cashews, and walnuts, are packed with minerals such as calcium and phosphorus, which are essential for strengthening tooth enamel. And if we snack on our nuts, because they're low in sugar and high in nutrients, that protects our teeth in and of itself. They say the crunchy texture also stimulates saliva. I don't know about them almonds, y'all. They ain't producing no saliva in my mouth. They are so dry. I got to make sure I drink my green tea with my almonds. The walnuts are not so bad. The almonds for me will definitely dry my mouth out. But wash it away with some green tea. So they say that those crunchy textures will definitely help to clear away the bacteria. And snack. Because when you snack on nuts, they are great for your dental health. They say you need to really avoid the overly salty nuts. But I'm going to tell you something. They don't really have that anymore. I don't know if y'all noticed, but all of the nuts, if you buy them, come with sea salt, and it's very, very mild. Yeah, they don't have those heavy, salty cashews like they used to. No. Onions. They say the bacteria fighters of our mouth. Now, the raw onions, they say contain sulfur, and that will kill several types of bacteria responsible for tooth decay and gum disease. Eating raw onions can reduce the number of harmful bacteria in your mouth, lowering your risk of infection. Onions also provide those antioxidants that protect gum tissue from inflammation. Okay. So they say while the strong taste has that lingering effect on your breath, keep on going. So there you have it. The foods that will help our teeth: onions, nuts, celery, strawberries, green tea, carrots, leafy greens, that's spinach and kale, yogurt, crunchy apples, and cheese. All right. Let me see if I got any comments over here. All right, boy, y'all are chatting up in here. Tamika says, I can't live this life without cheese. I'm with you, girl. I am putting cheese on everything. When I tell you everything, I mean everything. Cheese. I thought I was a mouse at one point. Shanti says, yes to the apples. Yogurt is great for our gut. Now learning is great for our teeth. I've been going spinach crazy. She has been. We just came from the supermarket and I had to buy more spinach. Like people want more money. Carrots, Tamika says. Carrots are good for your eyes, liver, and now your teeth. Y'all better get some. Absolutely. Now check this out, y'all. You know, oatmeal is great for you, right? So I found this recipe. Baked oats. I'm going crazy. I went last night, bought me some all the ingredients for my baked oats, and carrot cake. Baked oats is on my list. Tamika, go get them carrots, girl, because you're going to need them for your baked oats. I'm making it today. I'm going to tell y'all about it tomorrow. All right. So let's listen. Let's get those recipes. Let's get healthy together. Let's merge those recipes. All right. Tamika says, just found out yesterday there is sugar in our toothpaste. Wow. So before you put anything in your mouth, you're eating sugar. Ain't that something? Wow. I didn't realize that. Miss Grace, good morning. Did you hear it was going to be 81 degrees, Miss Grace? Yeah. It was brutal out there for the past couple of days. I'm not complaining compared to this 100 below zero. Yeah, I think I'm going to take this 81 degrees and smile with my beautiful new teeth from eating the celery, the apples, the carrots, the leafy greens, the strawberries, the onions. What else, y'all? What else? The green tea. Yes. Listen, I have seen more than I need. Us doing 2 health tips a week. Can y'all imagine that? We only do 2 health tips a week, and it is changing our life. Can you imagine that? That's crazy. That is crazy. All right. So, let's see what they talk about in the news. All righty. All right. I need a quick 15 seconds, y'all. Uh-oh, y'all. I think I might be allergy ridden. because my nose is itching and I feel like blowing. Yuck. Alrighty, y'all. What we talking about? We got some news stories today that were very interesting. So I want to start off with how people have poured in for an elderly woman out in the Bronx who is a cancer survivor, but my girl is experiencing some rat infestation. Yeah. So she lives in the Bronx and she's living in a building where she literally has a slumlord, y'all. Yeah. You see that picture? She said that's the climate of her house. She says that no matter what she's done, she has been living with these rats for quite some time. Now she says she's even like put up like boards and all kinds of things to kind of block where she thought they were coming from, but they find their way in. She said she wanted to have a special Sunday dinner and she could not. She said because even when she turns on the stove, she said, first of all, she's tired of cleaning off the stove. And she said that even when she puts the oven on, she smells it. She smells them. And she says that it's really affecting her mental and physical health. And definitely her emotional health is building on a great level of distress from all of this. And I can only imagine what this must be like. She says she can't sleep. She's not eating. She ended up going to the hospital. And remember, she's a cancer survivor. She says she doesn't have a spleen, which means her immune system is down because of that. And she says that her dog, she even has to put her dog stuff and like the belongings of like toys or whatever and food in her bedroom, because if she leaves out the dog food, they get to it. Oh my Lord. Well, she must have told the story to like the news or something. So a local exterminator came through and decided to just fumigate her apartment for free. And he told her that the extent of the contamination of rodents were so bad that it really wasn't even safe for her to live there. And the strong smell of the rat urine and filth flies is a horrible, horrible environment for her to be in. So they say that filth flies come from decaying matter such as rat feces, and it will transmit disease. And she ain't got no business being in that. So they put out a GoFundMe for her, and because she wanted to relocate, and she couldn't because she didn't have the money. So they put out a GoFundMe for her for $25,000. Well, homegirl ended up with $68,000. Yes. So the people have poured in again. Here we go in the Bronx. They have poured out the love for this 71-year-old woman so she can now relocate. But here's the thing. When they did the research, they said the building has been maintained by a slumlord, that they have 30 other tenants in that same building who have filed all kinds of complaints about the rundown conditions of their apartments. They're saying their apartments are uninhabitable, that they have missing stoves, broken refrigerators, rat infestation, mold, leaks that have gone on for years, and they have found 561 open violations for 2024 alone. Why is he not in jail, y'all? Why you're not in jail? They say 200 of those violations were classified as Class C, resulting in higher fines. That don't make no kind of sense. That makes no kind of sense. Now, her niece, the 71-year-old woman's niece, lives in this same building. And she says that she's trying to leave herself. Well, listen, go, Auntie, they just got 68 now. Go ahead over there with Auntie, move with her, and y'all will live happily ever after. Because I'm really trying to figure out how come they have not put this man in jail. Miss Grace says, yes, I heard. I love the temperature. I got to go out this morning. Yes, that's why I thought about you. I was like, you know what? If you got to go out today, you are going to enjoy the day. And Katie said, those are some big rats. Yeah. And this is what she's been living with. Horrible and horrible. All right, we've got another story. Now, I don't know if I want to talk about that one. Let's see. This one I want to talk about because you talk about having some nerve. So back in August of 2025, there was a Mr. Anthony Miller who was jogging with his wife, and he was struck by a car driven by Bailey. No, that's the name of the wife. Driven by Gavin Mars. So when Gavin was driving, he saw Miss Bailey, who was the wife of Anthony, tried to swerve away from Bailey, but hit Anthony. And Anthony died. Well, they say that they did not charge him greatly with anything because the two of them were running. It was rainy and the visibility wasn't that great. And, they really didn't lean on him and issue like a bunch of citations to him as they would have with other people. Also, he did get out of his car and he tried to, do some CPR and some life-saving measures. So they kind of, gave him a break. Well, he is now suing Anthony's estate for $50,000 in damages because he feels he has experienced some emotional injuries and medical costs that he wants to have recouped financially. He claims he suffered from PTSD after the crash and was hospitalized on multiple occasions. Nobody's been able to get in touch with his attorney to get any quote, but why would I want to get in touch with his attorney? Because both of y'all are stupid. Wow. So y'all are a bunch of dum-dums. People will sue for anything. Anything. People will sue for anything. Now, how in the world do you hit her husband? But now you are going to sue her and her family. You know what? People are just as nervy as the day is long. So I definitely wanted to talk about that. Because that's a bit much. That's a bit much right there. All right, I do want to do this story. Shantice has got some video footage for us, and let's see what we got here to talk about. Talk about nerves. Talk about nerves. So while she's getting the video ready for us, um, this particular woman, people feel so entitled. And this particular woman is especially feeling entitled. And, people from the other side of the fence, they start cutting up at times where they feel like, people are beneath them. And this woman went to, she went on vacation to Key West, Florida, she and her daughter, and they went into this coffee shop. And when they had their little, it's called the Funky Rooster Coffee House out in Key West back in 2024, June. So she had her little, what do you call it? Her coffee, and she bought a gift card. And after she got finished sipping her coffee, she then put her hand in the tip jar and took out some money. And she took $20 out of the tip jar. Now the barista approached them and called 911. And the police caught up to them. And she was initially very unapologetic because she lied and said that she had not done anything, that she they were lying on her, making up stories, lying on her. And the cops were shown the video. So at that point, they felt like, you serious? You still want to tell the story that they're lying on you despite the fact that they just showed us the video? So they ended up arresting her. And now she has a price to pay. She has a price to pay. So people are really, really out of it. And especially these people who feel like they're entitled. And I don't know about y'all, but I've been reading over the past maybe 6 or 7 months. And this is kind of like a highlight in the news of these people on the other side of the fence who are attacking us on this side of the fence on a regular basis. And they feel entitled. And I just saw a post of a man who walked in a store, and he was like, well, you didn't greet me properly. There was a man on the other side of the fence to one of us. He said, you didn't greet me properly. When I came in the store, you were supposed to greet me. Blah, blah, blah. And went all in this whole tangent. When it got the manager, he didn't greet me properly. And when I come in the store, I expect to be greeted, only to find out that the man he was talking to didn't even work there. And what do you do at this point? What do you do at this point? I don't know. I don't know if y'all have seen this, but it's all over the news. They have gone buck wild. And one of the things that people are saying is that, hey, now that Trump is in office, and I think it's been said here that they're out of the closet now. They don't care nothing about, who you are. Now they feel like Trump is in office. They can do whatever it is they want to do. All right, so Shantice is ready with the video. So let's take a look.
There's cameras. And you're a very dishonest person because I'm giving you the chance to tell me what really happened.
I told you what.
Okay? So I'm going to need you to turn around. You're going to go to jail for theft.
Jail?
Yes.
Oh
Will you back
God.
up? Please back up.
That's my daughter.
Give it to your daughter if you want the wallet. Yes, we're not playing games.
Ma'am, please let go of the purse.
I can't. I'm trying to close it.
Okay.
If you would have spoke to the lady and gave her money back, probably she wouldn't have pressed charges.
Can I speak
but
to
it's
her?
too late now. She tried talking to you, and y'all took off.
She did not
and
speak
you,
to
And you
us
said,
in
"Oh, it was only a
English."
couple dollars." Okay, so
That's not what I
okay.
said. She showed me a picture that had nothing.
Ma'am, are you giving me permission to give this to your daughter?
Yes. Sir, can I go speak to her again? I think you're being...
I'm not the victim. Okay, she
Can
wanted to
I
press
speak-
charges.
Can I speak to
No.
her?
Okay. Do you have anything inside your
No.
person? Anything sharp?
No,
anything
I don't
illegal?
have anything.
Okay. All right, let's go this way.
Can I go back and give her $20?
Ma'am, please. Step.
I mean,
How did you guys get here?
walking.
What's that?
Over from Funky Rooster, he's what they told you. His
Funky
name Arthur.
Rooster?
Arthur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Yes, sir.
She never spent.
Yes, you did. He's off the call.
Hey,
No, she was
Okay.
speaking in whatever her native
did
language
this happen at
was.
Funky Rooster?
700 of there was care.
You know, when you look at her, she looks like one of those hoity-toity, people. And so here's what ended up happening. So you put your hand in there, you took $20. When the barista mentioned it to you, you got mad. The daughter said it ain't nothing but a couple dollars, and y'all walked off. She tried to talk to them, and when they ignored her and brushed her off, she called the cops. She went to court. She had to plead no contest to a misdemeanor petty theft charge and was ordered to pay $223 in court costs and a $40 investigative fee to the Key West Police Department. She didn't receive any jail time, but they said in Florida that she was very lucky because they have a stealing mandate that if you steal property worth less than $100, you can do up to 60 days in jail and pay up to $500 in fines. Now you didn't pay $220 something, $40 investigative fee for $20. $20. Where's my girl Tamika at? Where we at? Where we at? Good morning.
Good morning. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. How are you today?
I am well, thank you. Girl, have they lost their mind?
Apparently.
What's your thought on this whole video thing? Where this is what you did. Daughter was with you, downplayed what you did, because I don't know what I would have done had anybody with me put their hand inside of the tip jar, girl, and taking something out.
I've been in places where, you know, you got your little tip jar, you know, and, you know, that's my money. You know, I'm thinking you put money in. Then I happen to look out the corner. Did she just take money?
Sure did.
My hard-earned money. You gonna take it out, and then you gonna hide your hand behind your back as if you didn't do it. You know, and it takes a real brave person not to handle that on their own. You know, I applaud this you know, barista for calling the cops, you know, and getting it done that way, and having a video. She's got video to back her up. You know, this technology is amazing, you know, and it's wonderful that we have that, because if she didn't have it, then it would be your word against my word. And we're talking about cash money. You know, we've already had things where, you know, we found money. You know, there's no trace on cash money. So,
Right.
you know, the thing that gets me is she, what? You know, I'm trying to close my purse, you know, and then at the very end, can I go talk to? Now you want to
Right.
No, you can't.
Right.
You know?
Not only that, you had already said you hadn't done it.
Right.
So how you asking to give back something that you never took?
Exactly. And then at the end, well, she was talking in whatever language. What does that have to do with anything? She was talking in whatever her native language is. That has nothing to do with you taking the money. And now you're paying a tithe more than what you took. Oh, you super smart. Super smart.
Girl, I tell you. Where's Shantice at? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, ladies?
I'm okay, thanks. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What say you about this whole hoity-toity tourist who put her hand in the tip jar, didn't contribute, but took a withdrawal?
What are we doing? Why am I gonna go away to now steal out the tip jar? For what? Like, what made it look that enticing? And see, people be thinking they don't need Jesus. You're there to buy coffee. Your coffee didn't cost $20. And you just happen to glance over at that tip jar and say, you know what, I could use $20. For what? And then you acting all flabbergasted and taken aback when the cops roll up on you, like you ain't take it. And then the daughter's talking about, oh, it's only a few dollars. I locked her up just for saying that. Oh, so you're an accomplice. Okay, well, let's go. Because you probably whispered in her ear and said, oh, Mom, well, since you're standing there, just take it. What is that to say to a cop? Oh, it was just a few dollars.
No, she said that to the barista. She said it to the barista.
Same difference. Same thing. You're telling me what it only is, as if she just accidentally spilled a little coffee on the counter. Like, listen, man, you didn't have to go all crazy. She just spilled a little coffee on the counter. Like, it's just the mind. It's just like you can't try to figure this out. You lose your mind trying to figure other people's mind out. That made no sense.
You know, here's the thing. You know, you said, why would you? Because people feel that entitled.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't her first time doing that either.
Nope.
And she ain't even Becky with the good hair.
This ain't her first time. She didn't went somewhere else. Because let me tell you something. Now, the three of us going in, we vacationing together. The two of y'all one of y'all put your hand in that. I'm gone. I don't know you.
Right.
I agree.
I don't know you.
I'm not going down with the ship.
That's right. I do not know you. If you clock me for saying anything, it was, yo, really? Okay, I talk to y'all later. I'm out. For you to say it's just a couple of dollars, you really did not. You don't love your mother.
Right. And then as a mother, what are you showing your child?
Right. Even as an adult. And here's the thing. That's why I say this ain't their first time at this. Because if you were shocked, now had Ernie put her hand in a tip jar, I'd have been like, yo, really? Really, Ernie? That's the way me and my mother, you know what I'm saying? That's what I call my mother Ernie. You know that. Y'all know that. The Due Time crew knows that's who Ernie is. I'd have been like, yo, Ernie, really? No. We ain't going. Because let me tell you something, Tamika. Let me tell you a funny thing. When we would go out with my mother and my sister, we'd have to talk to them before we left the house about arguing with people.
Yeah, that's why they would have got arrested.
We had to tell them, listen, I used to have to say to them before we walk out this door, I'm not going out here to fight nobody. Because you're not going to let somebody talk any old kind of way to your mother. And she and my sister were the type, they pop off at you, girl. Well, let me tell you, they pop off. So even sometimes me and my sister would say to my mother, we ain't going out here to fight nobody. We're not going out here to argue. So imagine my mother putting her hand in a tip jar and me co-signing on something like that.
So this is funny because that's backwards. Usually when we're children, mama said, now don't you go out there and embarrass me.
Right. I used to tell my mother that all the time. I said, listen, I'm not going out here to argue. Please go ahead and behave yourself. Because, she would, say something to somebody. And, people out here, they're not taking your stuff. Whether she was right or whether she was wrong. They go, buck up at people. And, they don't care about elders no more. And, so you're not going to let nobody just say anything to your mother. But a lot of times, what people didn't know was we would be getting on her. We would be getting on the people. We would be getting on her. So, I brought that up to say there's nowhere in the world I'm with my mother. And me and my mother traveled quite a bit. Most times when I was traveling, I was with my mother. And the girl, Ernie put some stuff like that, I'd be like, no. Shantice, I put my hand in the jar. What you gonna say?
Thank you for raising me. I told Craig and them. By the time you and I would have finished arguing, the cops would have just been sitting there looking like, we need backup just so they could believe this is going on. Is this your child?
Yeah,
right. I'm not co-signing that.
Right. Really sad.
And it's on this side of the fence. Unless I was in this with you,
right. We
would have been fighting.
Right.
There's no way I wasn't in on this plan, directly or indirectly. And they rolling up on my mother because already I'm like, why are you talking to my mother, sir? Oh, well, we just got a report. Someone fitting your mother's description took $20. And then $20?
Right.
Only 20?
Right.
What were we going to do with $20? So see, once I would ask.
Wait, in Key West, Florida.
Well, my thing is the drink. You had to pay for your drink, and then you took. And then on top of that, you took. So what? You paid $20 for the thing, and then took it out the tip jar.
Yeah, but did you remember she bought a gift card to me because she bought a gift card.
What?
So you didn't buy? Yes.
So I'm giving you your money back for your merchandise.
That's exactly my point. Like.
They wouldn't have even bothered to lock you up. They wouldn't have bothered to lock you up. Now, you know what? We're going to turn you over to the custody of your child. Because by the time you finish dealing with that, you already served your time. So how about you just give that back? And that is so dumb. By
the time I finished arguing with my mother, she would have wished that she served time.
Yes.
Because you going to live with me for the rest of your life, baby.
everything would have been $20.
Yeah.
You want to get $20? You go to the bathroom. Is there $20? Oh, $20 in there?
Oh my goodness. That's what I say, the way we handle things, on both sides of the fence is very different. Now, you standing there as the daughter all flabbergasted. Why are you arresting her?
No.
They would have been like, you know what would have happened? Would be like, see, I told you, we on vacation, you cut up, and now I gotta go stand up in the police precinct with you. That's what the argument would have been.
I'm not aiming for no $20.
Right.
Oh, y'all want her? The $20 bandit? All right, because I ain't sitting here for those $20.
Exactly.
Oh, what are the charges? $20.
I'm posting on my Facebook the mug shot, everything.
$223 plus 40. You ended up paying for the $20. It was not about the money. It was about, I'm going to show you this is what I can do. Right. I'm above the law. I have done this before. I've gotten away with it before. Because you know what has happened before? You've done this before. The people have said something to you, and when it was like, forget it. It's only $20.
Right.
That's what has happened in the past.
And now she's like, what? Wait, really? Handcuffs? It's only, can I just go give her the money back?
Yeah.
No.
That's why that was her attitude. Not apologetic.
Mm-hmm.
Was like, let me just brush this off by giving it back to her and calling it a day. That's why I wanted to show this video, because I really wanted to show just that mentality of this is what you do. You are entitled, and people are getting tired of this entitlement. Check this out. Follow what she said, because you brought it up, Tamika. She didn't say anything to us. She just spoke in her native language. You know what she did? She took from the foreigner.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't think nothing of the foreigner. She took from the foreigner and thought she was better than the foreigner. And you didn't have the right to speak up for the fact that you put your hand in the cookie jar. All I knew was you were speaking in your native language. Just like you said a minute ago, Tamika. She was, oh no, you just spoke it. She just spoke. She didn't say anything. She spoke in her native language. The fact that she had to speak to you at all about you putting your hand in that jar was enough. So whether she spoke in sign language, it would have been too much.
Exactly.
Too much. Way too much. Way too much. Oh my goodness. All righty. I got two stories for y'all that, I wanted to talk about. And, all right, so here's the first one. So you got these two girls. Chantis, if you could show this picture. So you got 8 Chick-fil-A employees at Tuskegee University in Alabama who decided that it was fine to record a video. So Landon Roll suggested that the group of them during the closing shift create a 25-second clip that ended up going viral, over 8 million views, of them doing the bounce of their tatas. Shantice, I need you to clip that other one of them bouncing. Not a video, but the it shows a little better than this picture. So they decided to run this video shaking the tatas. And one of the former supervisors received a message, because she's a former supervisor now, received a message from the manager who said, you guys need to come see me on Monday immediately. Do not clock in. This why y'all was shaking y'all tatas. So they went in as we're told, and they were fired because the first rule is that they are not allowed to record videos at work unless the video has been approved. So not only did you post a video, period, but the video wasn't approved, number two, and the third thing was y'all shaking your tatas. Now, I want to repeat, this was during the closing shift. Now, here's the complaint, y'all. This is what was in the video, right? She's mad because the Chick-fil-A is on the grounds of the Tuskegee University in Alabama. And she's mad because, in her opinion, it wasn't Chick-fil-A who made the complaint. It was Tuskegee who made the complaint. And her argument is, why are we being fired? Because we work for you. Chick-fil-A. We don't work for Tuskegee. And Tuskegee is behind the firing. And that there is not fair. I just got one word. Help! Shantice, you got first dibs on this one, girl.
They don't even do this at Hooters, where the uniform is designed to show certain parts of your body. Men go there, the wings ain't all that good, but you go for the eye wings and for the atmosphere. That's the atmosphere for that. And I've been to Hooters a few times. I've never witnessed anything unprofessional. From the girls with the butt cheeks hanging out the bottom of the shorts. Everyone is in there serving their tables, speaking professionally, carrying themselves professionally. Very pretty. Where you would expect something like that from an arena like that. Why are you at work? Now, coming from being in the restaurant industry, don't get me wrong, there are some shifts that you talking about a closing shift, you pretty much doing everything except picking the guests up by the collar and rounding your foot up and kicking them out the door because it's like, it's time to go because you're ready to let loose. And now we're blasting the music. Now the kitchen crew done come out and we blasting the music while we counting money and all of that. I get it. We ain't never made no videos. That stayed within the confinements of the store. Why do we now see fit to make videos? And again, now everybody acting all stupid and taking it back when now it's time to be reprimanded. For what? Why do you're not even supposed, if you get caught doing anything in your uniform, that's grounds for termination. You ever talk about a video? If I'm on my break and I go somewhere and I get into an argument with someone and I have a Chick-fil-A uniform on and they report me, I can lose my job. If it's my day off and I decide to wear my uniform and I do something crazy and it gets back to me, I can lose my job. So if you know that you could lose your job on anything like that, and they make sure they state that because you wear your uniform. So they tell you, if you wear your uniform to work, you better make sure your route to work You on your best behavior, because if anything gets back to us, it's grounds for termination. And you would now make a video, and then you mad, and you have a comeback. They didn't go to the school, right? They're not one of the students.
No, I don't. They don't say that any of them were the students.
You
But
couldn't be no student acting like that.
well, if you were a student, you would have definitely been fired. So they don't say that any of them were the students, but the lead person definitely got mad because she said, "Why is Tuskegee University is behind this firing? Why are they involved with the firing? And we work for Chick-fil-A." Tamika, please help me.
Now, every Chick-fil-A that I have ever seen is glass, for the most part. The house is glass. You can see through the windows, give or take. This is, it's the closing shift. That means that there are people still walking around,
Right.
on the outside, ordering from the drive-through, and Chick-fil-A has a premise. They are a Christian company, which is why they're closed
On Sunday. Right.
This is the premise. When you go in, and I've gotten so a certain kind of way with Chick-fil-A. If you don't say my pleasure, I feel a certain kind of way. Because that is the premise that they set up. Now, you're talking about being in a eating facility, a dining facility, with your tatas out. That's unsanitary. It has nothing to do, even if it has to do with the school. But my thing is the premise of that. Can you imagine, as a customer, you driving around and you trying to get your food, you looking in the drive-through window, because all you see is like, did I just, did I just see what I think I saw? And just common sense should tell you that, and Shantice was talking about having a uniform on. They didn't have it on.
Right, during the shift.
Right,
during the shift.
Exactly. It's not like you're closed and you did it in the bathroom. With maybe like 2 or 3 of you all in the bathroom. No, and then my thing is, as a business, there are plenty of times where you sign on the dotted line, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. There are pictures and videos that you cannot do at an establishment. I work for a company, I can't show the logo. I'm even if my top is off, everybody that's ever been to a Chick-fil-A bathroom or establishment, that's Chick-fil-A. If I go to BBQs and I go to a certain place, you show a biscuit, I know where that is. So you can't do that. And just the whole idea of you decide, well, let's see, we're closing shift. What do I do? Oh, I know. These people with these ideas that these right ideas that aren't so smart, we need to stop. Please stop.
I saved Pastor KL for last, because this his people out in Alabama.
These your cousins.
Yes.
I blame you.
These your kinfolk. Out in Alabama, Pastor KL was shaking their tatas in the video during the closing shift, and they are mad because they said Chick-fil-A is not the one that fired them. They would not have gotten fired if it were not for Tuskegee University.
First of all,
what say you?
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Why y'all blaming me without even saying good morning?
Yes,
good morning,
we are.
Good morning. I blame a lot of folks. I don't know if y'all have Chick-fil-A's in New York, but yes. most Chick-fil-A's are employed by light-skinned folks. And if you have us in there, they think they light-skinned. So they're really uppity. When you got these tata shaking people here, you knew you shouldn't have hired them. You knew they were not the brand of the company. We don't even sell chicken by the pieces, so we wasn't selling breasts.
Oh my
You know, it's one big sandwich.
Oh
When
my
these
God.
two McDonald's on fries came and applied for this job,
Oh my gosh.
you knew there was a problem. Again, the Negroes that are in Chick-fil-A, they think they light-skinned. These folks, I could imagine Shaquita and Laquita coming for the interview.
They came looking like this.
You know how to cook a chicken. You know what I mean? Put me on fries. Listen, I blame the organization. You knew what you was getting when you hired these two. They came in looking like moo-moos. I'm sorry. That is, I always talk about the brand of the company. Is this really what you wanted your brand to be represented by? And now you want to tell me, well, don't punch in. I should have never punched in. I should have never had the ability to punch in. There should have never been an I-9. Never. I'm sorry. Never been an I-9. No, I blame the company.
Oh my gosh. You know, I just, when I opened up the article, I didn't even read the caption well. And I'm looking and I'm like, well, it said, I saw the Chick-fil-A and I saw them holding the breast. I saw them holding the breast and one got a tongue out. I was like, well, what are they doing? And when I read this, I couldn't even imagine what this story was. Chick-fil-A in the background and the two of them holding the breast and she got her tongue out. I said, well, what in the world is this story? And when I read this, I was in disbelief. I said, why? Why? I think Pastor Kim said it the other day. Why gotta be us and sis?
We need to now change the logo from the cow to now the Tata.
Right.
Forget eat more chicken, eat more breasts.
I'm like, what in the world? And then when I read that she was angry because she said if it wasn't for Tuskegee University, do you realize, and Pastor Carol does always talk about this, he always talks about the look of the brand.
Yes.
What are you representing? Who are you representing? How are you representing us? This is always I don't care what we talk about. When we talk about stuff like this, that's always his first argument. How are you the brand? What does the brand want to represent? How does the brand want themselves represented? And I'm saying to myself, Tuskegee University does not want. They do not want people who are working for anything that they have their name assigned to looking like this. And I'm saying to myself, and you thought it was fine. See, here's the problem that I always have with us as you do stupid stuff, and then you get mad for being fired for the stupid stuff. When you do stupid stuff, you're too stupid to realize that it's stupid stuff, so you get mad when you get fired for the stupid stuff.
Right.
And I'm saying to myself, well, at what point do we get fired and we go, oh, you know what? That wasn't smart. No, we get mad for being fired for the stupid stuff. So to me, it only indicates that you are stupid. Why are we getting mad when we get fired for the stupid stuff? I never understand that about us. I don't. It's at no point do you get jolted. You don't think this was wrong? During your shift, you don't think that doing this is wrong? Did this hand look okay? So you know sometimes they say hindsight is 20/20, and you think about something you did, you be like, Lord, did I really do that? You know what I'm saying? In our former life, you know, we think about. Sometimes I think about some of the stuff that I did, and I was not one who was like out there like that. But sometimes I think about some of the stuff I did, and I'm like, you really thought that was okay, Stephanie? Okay, no. I wish I could go back and say I'm sorry to these people.
You know what? I had an assistant manager in another store, and that's when was not when, but they did a TikTok video, and she walking around with a buggy, and the song is "I don't do shit at work," and she walking around the whole store. The store's a hot mess with a buggy. She ain't picking nothing up. She ain't putting nothing back. But the whole song is, I don't do that at work. So the next day, I called her in. I said, yeah, you don't have work. Not that you don't do nothing at work. You don't have work. Because as you say, a lot of companies, you can't come in my store. Let's say, Shantice went shopping for you and she was trying to FaceTime you to figure out if this is what you want. You can't do that in my store. You can't video, you can't take no pictures, you can't do any of that. Even as a customer, let alone as someone who works here. Oh yeah, she had no job. She apologized profusely and she was just playing. Okay, go play somewhere else. Go play in traffic.
They don't think. But at least she was apologetic. We all go through life and we do something and we be like, oh, okay, that just wasn't smart. No matter how long the deed, no matter how short the deed, we all look at something and we're like, okay, that was just not smart at all. But I get so angry and frustrated when you too stupid to realize that the stupid stuff you did was stupid. I just don't get it. And that there is dangerous. And we're talking about health, mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, financial health. Well, now you have no financial health. It shows you have no
Can you imagine what it's like trying to find a new job? When they
Yes.
say, why were you fired from your last job?
Yes. Yes. And you can't get a reference from your last job.
You can't.
And you ain't had that. Look at them too. They ain't had that many jobs. So you ain't got many reference opportunities before Kiki and them gonna pretend like they used to hire you. That's how it's going down. That's how it's going down.
And the crazy part about a lot of people who are in the food service business, they stay in the food service business.
Yeah.
So they go from McDonald's to Burger King, from Burger King to Wendy's, from Wendy's to Chick-fil-A. So it's a small unit.
Right.
How many places you gonna go?
Right.
After a while, if you keep on getting bounced from all these places, you can't do nothing else but flip a burger.
Right.
You ain't going to no other kind of job.
No. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Only Kiki and them who work as a manager in White Castle can give you a reference. Because can nobody else give you no reference? Because you didn't only had one or two other jobs. And you can't get no reference from them two jobs. You surely can't get no reference from this job. And even if they were to, sometimes I remember when I used to interview, based on what I was interviewing for, I would ask, tell me something. What have you learned over the course of your employment? How have you grown? What are you going to say when you don't even think you should have been fired, or who fired you mattered?
Wait, what?
Oh, Lord. Who fired? I'm mad that Mary fired me and it wasn't Joseph. What is this? I don't know, y'all. I got one more story. Y'all. I tell you, we ain't never gonna run out of things to talk about. Not looking at the news. All righty. Are y'all ready for this one?
I don't know.
Yes.
So if we stay in the South, we ain't never gonna run out of stuff to talk about, y'all.
Wait, is this in Tulsa?
This is in Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
So out in Tennessee, you have a nursing home employee named Sharonda Mitchell. And Sharonda was at work one day, and a coworker reported that Sharonda refused to care for a patient who was suffering from a prolonged nosebleed, and she reported that Sharonda also failed to administer prescribed medication. So after the management instructed Sharonda to surrender her medication card keys, leave the premises, she refused to leave, and she remained at the site. So they said Sharonda's behavior became erratic. She blamed the co-worker for alerting management. Here we go. I'm mad at who's mad at the stupid stuff I done did. And they finally called the police, who actually did respond. So when they got there, because Sharonda wouldn't leave, they waited for about 2 hours while Sharonda refused to leave. As they were waiting, oh Lord, as they were waiting for Sharonda to leave, they said stuff got worse. Sharonda went and put on some gloves, went to where the co-worker was working, picked up a used adult diaper with urine and feces, took the woman by the back of the hair and smeared the diaper in her face.
No.
If this ain't Ratchet Thursday, all right. So finally, the co-worker is able to push Sharonda away, defend herself, and call the cops, who was waiting ever so patiently for Sharonda just to simply leave. They didn't come to arrest her because there was nothing to arrest her for. The only thing she had done was she would not turn over the key, and she wouldn't leave the premises. Oh, Lord. So they have arrested Sharonda, and now she's waiting to go to court on what initially they could have charged her with a misdemeanor, but because the paper was filled, you're now going down for a felony. I just got one word. Help! You can make this stuff.
Cannot. I told you I wasn't ready.
I can't make this up. Let's start from the beginning. You were shaking your tatas, equivalent to there's a patient who had a nosebleed, and you did not get to that patient and treat the patient that you were assigned to. Not only wouldn't you treat the patient, but you wouldn't even give the patient the meds that they needed. You mad. Now you a nurse. You are a registered nurse because you are the nurse with the med key. Everybody don't get the med keys.
Right.
I don't know how many of you know that. Right. But there ain't no whole lot of them walking around in a hospital on a nursing home with the med keys. So you're a registered nurse. Now, this person has they are bleeding from the nose profusely. There could be anything wrong. If you in a nursing home, you ain't in the nursing home because you well. If this was an elderly person, this could have been some kind of brain hemorrhage. Anything that could have caused this nosebleed profusely happening. If you're there for any other care, because a lot of the nursing homes are blended with rehabs, something's wrong with the people that are sitting up in this nursing home, registered nurse, and only you can administer the meds. I can't look over at Tamika to administer the meds. And I know this because I signed the contract that says, I know this. You mad because they report you. You refuse to give up the med case key, and you refuse to leave the site. Are you too stupid to understand that the stupid stuff you did? Pastor Cal, I'm going to start with you.
Pamper.
Wait, we didn't hear nothing you said. We didn't hear what you said.
I said you wouldn't have had to wait for the police if you came at me with a pamper. It would have been a whole nother official you was looking for. You know what I mean? Like the morgue.
Like the
coroner. Looking for him. That's what you'd have been looking for. We wouldn't have had no problem with the police. This is one time the police could have took its time. Could have taken time. Listen, it's not important. I'm a Negro. Don't come here quick. You might want to bring company with you because that's ridiculous. First of all, you can't play with blood, but you can play with feces. I'm trying to understand. Give me the blood for 200, Alex. I'll take the blood. I'm not playing with pee or feces. And then you that crazy. After they say you can leave, that you just gonna hang around and do other things. And I'm just trying to figure out, was the workers, were they old too? Was everybody old? The patients and the workers? Because couldn't nobody beat her? Listen, I'm just trying to figure out, where were the people at the Underground Railroad? Were they all looking from afar? Listen, I'm sorry. Shaquita would have got beat. She would have got beat. And then I would explain to the police and to the morgue how she died by accident. It was an accident. I didn't mean to kill her. It was self. If you come at me with feces, that's a weapon. Mm-hmm. So it's self-defense if I kill you. It's self-defense. I'm sorry. I got a alibi.
Even in the prisons, they put the mask over your face so you don't spit, and right. They put the gloves on your hands so you can't throw the feces. Tamika! Oh, help.
I'm already repulsed. As soon as you started with the name Sharonda,
we already
knew it was going to be something. Because everybody ain't named Sharonda.
Wait, Shantice. Wait, hold on, Tamika. Hold on, Kale. Think about how Ernie would have finished that sentence. I knew there was going to be some.
Look, this thing affected Shanti so bad she turned her face to the wall.
I'm reading the scriptures God had me put up on my wall.
That's what I had to forget that this was the Christian broadcast, Tamika, because all I heard was Ernie, and I thought that's where you were going. I held my breath, girl. I held my breath.
I knew as soon as you started with Sharon. I said, we in for something here, y'all. I told you I wasn't ready. I knew it. I outright knew it. And then when you said Sharon, we already, I'm almost at a point where it's like, when you say Chick-fil-A, anything that has to do with Chick-fil-A, you know, we got these catastrophes. Now we dealing with Sharonda. Now Sharonda is a different type of, you know.
Where did the L come from?
Not Sharonda, not Shonda, not even Sharondo.
Oh, God.
So this lady decides, she automatically knew, today is my last day. When she wouldn't give this person the medication that they need to stop it.
Yeah, she was done.
She already knew, okay, today is my last day. I'm not going to give the meds. And my thing is, in facilities like that, or maybe because it's a senior center, you don't have the guys that say, we got a runner, you know, and those people. You don't have any men in this place, and you're the only person with medication. Every facility that I've ever seen, we got a runner. You got two guys, at least two big fluffy guys that can handle the business.
Oh my gosh.
She wouldn't give them the medication. She's walking around for 2 hours. You trying to figure out, okay, what can I do? What can I do? Because that's what she was doing. She was, okay, can't give her any medication because I'm gonna go to jail. But okay, I got it. I got this sniffer, and she puts it over this lady's face, and just to like that might as well be jail time. If you coming to me and I'm like, what you gonna do with that? You know, it's a knockout drag out. So if we don't have the runners, then I'm handling my business for myself, because you ain't no way you coming to my face and you gonna put Now you know that other employee couldn't have been on Sharondo's side of the fence, because ain't no way. How in the world you gonna get that over my face?
Oh my God. Okay.
At least I know you got your version. Let's go.
Wait. Oh my God. You and Pastor KL have already floored me, Tamika. I'm done. But so I just got a comment. I know Shantice is freaking out about adult diaper and trying to get a whole face transplant because in her mind, she can never get her face clean.
Absolutely. Kill me. Just kill me. Ain't enough bleach. Ain't enough alcohol. Ain't enough soap. Ain't enough revivals in the world for me to ever look at my face the same again. Now I can't run from me, so what is I gonna do? I can't throw my face away. I can't go buy a new one. I can't. My first thought was exactly what Lady Tamika said. So when you sat in the hospital and wrote Sharondo on the birth certificate, how successful did you think this life was going to be? Because despite what people really believe, and they think that we say this just because we want to make people laugh, no, this is serious. This is for real. I know people who associate their mentality and their life based on things like names, the day they So like this is a real.
This is real. This is real. This is real.
This is not because we want to try to make people laugh. This is for real, for real. Like, and you can't tell them no different, because whether it's because a family beat it in their head or they came up with it on their own, they really associate their life with things like that. You don't love your child when you name them things like this. Now, I'm so serious. Like, take it as you want to. But if you're in that much distress after pushing that baby out, then you don't name the child. Like, no. Ask God to give that gift to someone else, okay? Now, For whatever reason, you mad. You, as Pastor Steph kept emphasizing, you're the only nurse that is entrusted to administer something as important, as essential as medication. When you get to the point where you don't care like that, you need to turn that stuff over. Because again, this is serious. When you get to the point where I'm at work, but I don't want to do what I'm here to do, it's time to go. Why are you putting before other people? Why are you putting yourself through that? These are the things that we underestimate. Where I remember coming home telling Pastor Steph, I fed people and didn't give them nothing to drink at work. This is before I met Jesus, like for real. like I had met him, but I didn't really meet him. But I let a whole family sit there. That's how much they annoyed me. Everybody ate to their heart's content with nothing to drink. Okay, I knew at that point I had to reevaluate my career choice, because if I'm at the point where I'm working in a restaurant and I don't want to give you nothing to drink, despite how mad you make me, it should not get to that point. Okay, so you really have to consider this. When it came into your mind, you wasn't all that crazy because you protected yourself. You went and put gloves on.
Right.
This was so premeditated. It wasn't that impulsive that you just glanced over and saw this dirty pamper. So was the pamper already there? Like, what? How did that work? So you were that negligent also to where?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Or you took the pamper off the patient, and then you like y'all just have pampers laying around for a time such as this. I don't know how that works.
That's what I thought.
I don't understand that part.
That's what I thought about.
Yeah. So is it like just in case of an emergency of me being annoyed, go into this room and there's just pampers on deck for when I want to smash somebody? I don't know how that works. I don't know. But you I'm like not trying to, but I can't help these things are going through my mind. But you thought enough to protect yourself to put gloves on. And then you went and smashed this in this woman's face. You felt as confident as a woman who took the $20 out the tip jar. You just knew she wasn't going to do nothing. You just knew that because it didn't look like you were prepared for any comeback, really. Like, I'm going to be able to do this, and then I'm going to be able to run up into the sunset. You was not anticipated like punching you in the face or it being anything really crazy, which, again, entitlement. Because you didn't do it to someone on this side of the fence, because you would have really been quick. You would have put on a cup of something. Because you would have known once you smash somebody in the face with something like that, it's over. But we really have to evaluate whatever you woke up that morning or was that heavy on your heart that you said, I'm not doing nothing, because that was premeditated. You ain't get to work and get all that upset. That started from when you went to bed the night before. And you woke up saying, I'm saying, because this is what we do on this side of the fence. We go to bed. We go to bed hoping we get to work and somebody asks us to do our job.
Right.
See how stupid that sounds?
Right.
I wish I would go to work and somebody asked me to pass them a pill. Ain't that your job?
Right.
Like what? And so you wake up with this chip on your shoulder. You wake up hoping somebody tell you to do your job so you can go off. Yeah, that's all it's going to take.
Yeah. You were already set. Yes. And
this is why we will never rise as a people, y'all. Because these mindsets, these mentalities is going to always take us down. That is crazy. There'd have been nothing you could have said to me. God forbid you would have smashed me in the face with that. Everybody going down. Everybody. The patients, everybody get locked up. Everybody. And by the time I would have put everybody, there would have been nothing you could have said to me. Nothing you could have said. Absolutely. That's horrible. That's disgusting.
If these stories ain't for Therapeutic Thursday, where people need some therapy, I don't think we'll ever find two better stories. I think these two stories have taken the cake of any of the Therapeutic Thursday we have ever had before. My Due Time crew, thank you so much for the therapy of laughter. because we needed it today. Thank you for your contribution, and we pray you have a blessed day. Woo!
Thank you.
Child, as my granddaughter would say, child. Oh, Anika said with that breakdown, that was definitely premeditated. No, absolutely. That's the first thing that came to my mind. This was not something that you did when you saw the nosebleed. At the point you saw the nosebleed, and you decided that you were not going to help that person. You know, remember, the complaint was that there was a prolonged response. There was a prolonged response to the person who had this profuse nosebleed. You already had in your mind that you were done, because why would you be slow to respond? And clearly there's medication to address either why the person had the nosebleed or to help the nosebleed. It went, better than, putting your head back, putting your head down, because I've heard both, different, remedies. But there was some medication that needed to be involved. And you being slow on the draw to respond, slow on the draw to even administer medication, you were already done for when you got there that morning or on that shift. You were already done. And that's why you see, here's what you thought. You thought you were going to dictate what do they call it? I don't want to say the outcome, because that's not the word I want to use. But in other words, you were going to do what you were going to do and dictate how it was going to be handled, such as the 2 chicks or the 8 employees who did the shaking of the tatas during the last shift and thought that it was not going to be addressed. And the one who was the leader got mad. You thought you were going to be able to shake these tatas after you were already told there should be no videos taken on during your shift. If you took a video, you could not post the video unless the video was already, stamped. And they said, okay, you can post this video. You already went outside the parameters of your job on both of these, instances. You went outside the parameters of your job when you did this video. Well, hold on. Here's my thing. You got 8 people who decided to do the video. I already got an infraction. 8 people wasn't on a break. 8 people were not on a break. So even if 2 or 3 were on a break and they went to the side and they did this tata shaking video, what happened to the other 5? You left your post. So, let's say remember now it's the closing shift. So now it's less people, clearly. So you thought, the 80, you thought you had some time to go off to the side and make this shaking of the tata video. So my thing is, so who was shaking the tatas while you were being paid? Just a payroll administrator, just an HR manager talking. Okay, because I always used to tell people, I always tell y'all, they would be standing at the door patting their feet when I got there. Well, our break was from 8:45 to 9 o'clock. Now, I told y'all before, I got there after them. I got there at 9 o'clock. So my thing is, why are you standing here? You on the clock. You need to go have a seat. You need to do some work. And then just send me a text, or not a text, an email, or leave me a voicemail, and I'll address your issue. You can't do what you want to do while you're on the clock. So you shaking your tatas on the clock, making a video on the clock, and now you mad at who fired you? You are on the clock getting paid to address your patients. You got the patient sitting there with a nosebleed. You're not addressing that issue, and then that patient needs meds while you're on the clock. And nobody said I got mad because they told me to come back early for my break, and how come nobody else can handle it? They were already working. How y'all call me for my break or call me for my lunchtime to come? No, you were on the clock. And this is why I said, how stupid are you to realize that the stupid thing you did not. Yo, what is that? What is that? Come on, y'all gotta think, man. Think. And you know, I have a saying in church, in service. So I remember my grandmother sometimes she's the pastor, she would send a room into a tizzy because she would ask a question and everybody would be grappling at this answer, right? And she'd be like, no, that's not it. No, that's not it. Now, Auntie Brenda's sitting up in the back of the room, the only one with the answer. She was the only one who could ever really communicate with my grandmother. She was the only one who always knew what my grandmother was after. She was the only one who knew what Grandma talked about the vicissitudes of life. She knew, the only one in the room. So my grandmother was like, nope, that's not the answer. Well, I ended up with the same kind of pattern, not intentionally, believe it or not, but I'm going somewhere here. When I ask a question and all the hands go up, I remember the children, I tell you no lie, the children would be the ones who would come up with the answer. And the answer that the adults would be, they would give like, hey, the hands would go, and they would give the surface answer. But I was looking for the answer that was really kind of deeper and between the lines. And the kids would put their hand up and they'd nail it. Boom. And I'd be like, yo, they got it, y'all. And I ended up with a saying of God is breeding thinkers. So yeah, I went through all of that so it would make a little more sense. So Grandma was breeding thinkers. God was breeding thinkers through Grandma. Your surface answers were not going to be okay with God. And I tell my group, God is breeding thinkers. Back then, I didn't understand it like that. And my mother used to say, that ain't the answer she wants. That ain't the answer she wants. Y'all better go deep. And I used to laugh because she used to say it facetiously, but in all honesty, God is breeding thinkers. And that's what I tell them. And I even push it more now when I look at stories like this. When I look at stories like this, of just the stuff you do, you are too out of it to understand that, yo, what I did was just dumb. What I did was just really out of line and out of order. And I'm hoping to God, remember a while ago I said, there's a certain things you do, you'd be like, oh God, did I really do that? I'm really hoping that it don't take you a year, 5 years, 10 years down the line to realize that shaking your tatas during your shift, making a video and posting it while you're on your shift would take you 2-3 years to figure out something was wrong. I'm really hoping that it does not take you 2-3 years to figure out that you were on the clock and you needed to service your patients. And you were the one with the key to the med cabinet and nobody could service your patients as you could. Is it going to take you 3-4 years to figure out, wow, I should have really done that differently? This is stuff that God ain't breeding thinkers to do. This is the stuff that you signed on to do when you took the job. It is not me in church, Grandma in church, asking questions and really kind of, I want to know y'all understand this thing. It's not just surface. God needs you to think deeper. And I say that now to you because I want you to understand why it's so vital that you take Jesus as your personal savior. Because Shantice always says it's Jesus who makes the difference and keeps us from being them. God is the one that just helps you step over that line that helps you not do the stupid stuff that was done in these two particular stories. So you both made a bad situation worse. It was bad enough you took the video, period. But then you posted it. It's bad enough you took the video on the job, but it wasn't during your break time. So like I said, even if they could snag up, and say you shouldn't have made the video at work, and you could say, well, I was on break. 5 of you couldn't have said you were on break. So it's bad enough you did what you did, but then you made a bad situation worse. Bad enough you didn't service your patient. It's bad enough you didn't give the patient the med. But then you then go. Now, the police were there just to escort you out and to get that key. And here's the thing I want to remind y'all of. I don't know if you ever if you some of the key your identification, your ID, your job ID, sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. It is the property of the job. So it'll say, this is the property of Montefiore Medical Center. It's your ID, but it belongs to the job. So when the cops showed up, they were not only showing up to escort you off the premises, but they were also there to get back what belonged to the job, which was the medication key, cabinet key. It wasn't yours to keep. When you did not service your patient, you literally said, I'm off the clock. I'm not going to do this job. So if you're not going to do this job, why you need the key? So how you get mad when somebody turn you in and now you refuse to leave and refuse to give up the key? You weren't doing your job, no way. You weren't doing your job. You had already clocked out in your head. Then you clocked out physically. Remember, Therapeutic Thursday, the stuff we do mentally, the stuff we do emotionally, the stuff we do physically, the stuff we do spiritually, the stuff we do financially, all of these things governs your health. All of these things indicate where your level of health is. And there's no way y'all so out of it that you are there, that you can be reprimanded and it makes sense. The word of God says, I chastise those I love and I call my family. And what happens is, when we talked about this maybe a week or two ago, about how or maybe one of the nights when Pastor Kale and I were on church hurt, and we talked about this, and we talked about being somebody talking about the pastor talking, and people walk away with church hurt because somebody talked to the pastor or whoever talked about what you did. Now I'm not talking, openly. I'm talking about period. And they may have approached you, or they may be on the pulpit talking, and it applied to you. God says, I chastise those I love and call my family. He wants us to take the correction so that it would cause us to improve. You don't understand how vital it is that these people understood instantaneously what they had done wrong. You cannot correct something that you don't know is wrong. That's why the word of God says, listen, I winked at you in your time of ignorance. God does not hold us accountable to the stuff that we don't know. He does not hold us accountable for that. But baby, he says that to know that it is a sin and to commit that sin anyway is a sin. It's sinful to do that. To know what to do and not do it is sinful. So either side, whether you got a sin of commission or a sin of omission, you're being sinful. So for these people, that's why I went to God is breeding thinkers, because God can't breed a thinker in a person who has not submitted themselves to him. That's why every day we make the plea, give your life to God, because it makes the difference. It keeps you from being these people. Now, are you these people just differently? Because see, if I were to tell the Chick-fil-A breast boppers that they were as bad as the woman who did not give the people the medication, they would never see that they were the same. If I were to tell the nurse that she was just as bad as the breast boppers, she would never see how she's the same. Conceptually, you're the same. It wasn't the same infraction, but it's the same concept. You did something wrong and you would not take accountability for it. So are you doing something wrong and you are not taking accountability for it? And the only thing that helps you is God. It clears the way. I'm telling you. Because it's not until the Spirit of the Lord is in action that you really think about these things. I'm telling you. You may not think so. You may think, well, I'm doing fine and I don't need God. You know, I'm on the right path. Sprinkle a little Jesus on that thing, as I always say. And watch how much better you do. It's no joke. It is no joke. Watch how better you are at what you do. And I have seen some people that I'm really scratching my head. They're Christian, but I'm trying to figure out, what God are you listening to? What did God say? How you here and you're supposed to be in the Lord? But that's because they quench the Spirit. The Spirit is always acting until you suppress it. You suppress the Spirit. That's supposed to lead you and guide you and keep you going in the right direction and on the right path. You can suppress the Spirit of the Lord. Thus, the scripture that says, don't do that. That's a gift. And the more I look at stories like this, the more I keep telling my group, God is breeding thinkers. Go deeper in this surface stuff, because this here is living on the surface. What these 2 people did, what these 9 people did, is surface living, surface comprehension, surface understanding. They did what made sense to them. Even the outcome didn't jolt them, because sometimes in life, like, the outcome will make you think. You know what I'm saying? Like, when sometimes you'll hear when they go to jail, you know, when they're on trial, they'll say, you know what, I really want to apologize to the family, because I'm sorry for what I did. Some people are really, because that unfortunately, it takes to the consequence. But listen, that's the way it happens. And hopefully and prayerfully, the things going forward will not have to be consequential in order for it to jolt you. You follow what I'm saying? That would be the beginning of your journey of just thinking a little deeper before you acted, or acted out, or responded. This is serious stuff here. So now you go into jail for something like that, when all you had to do was give up the key and walk off the premises. When the people ask, the cops shouldn't even have to be involved. And now again, I go back to saying, stop causing the cops to be involved in your business. Because look at how the cops did not have any business being in. They were not called to be in the business of certain instances, and somebody ended up dead. Look at how the cops were called into a certain situation, and as innocent as it was, somebody ended up dead. Or now in a lawsuit, and the cop has ended up in jail. I would say, listen, keep the cops about your business. The less you draw them to you, the more we stay off their radar, and the less likely it is that there's going to be some consequence behind what we do. Pay attention to what's going on around us, and understand that only by the grace of God, this is not us. And we are doing things more logical. Only by the grace of God. Whether you have accepted Christ or not, God is covering you. And here's what I always like to tell people, and I will give to you as I close. There are sometimes, the word of God tells us that God does not handle us according to our iniquities, which means that if we are punished and we are punished at only 30%. We should have been punished at 100%, but God only punished us 100%. God only punished us 55%. He didn't smash us when we should have been smashed. And here's why. Because if God was in the mode and in the business of smashing us for what we did, it would take us longer to come back and give our lives to him. Because a lot of people do not give their lives to God in a suppressed, sometimes like myself, it took me, I'd already accepted Christ, but it took me to be behind the bars before it jolted me enough to realize God is serious about what he said. He told you to do something. Do you want this again? And there are others that when they're so suppressed, they can't see nothing. And you think about it with your children. You have some children, you'll punish them and instantaneously they'll do right. You got others, and you have other people who will say, they so hurt and they so suppressed that there's nothing moves them. They got to come up out of that to see the forest for the trees. But in that suppressed position, nothing impacts them. Because that's their mind, their view, their vision, their hearing, their understanding, their heart, their spirit, everything shuts down. So if God operated where he smashed us, there would be some people who would, right, 1, 2, 3. They would be like, you know what? That's all I needed to hit rock bottom. I'm up. There are others who would stay there longer. And God knows. He knows. So he is not in the business of smashing us like that, because he would lose more of us than he would gain. So just because, and I said that to say, just because God has not smashed you does not, and you haven't accepted him, does not mean anything other than his mercy and grace prevailed over you. Because he wants you to come to him. And he understands that if he smashes you to a certain degree, all of that's going to be wasted time. You're not coming up out of that thing. He's going to have to wait for you, and then he'll get you. And other people such as myself, I'll be there. I said, okay, I'm up. I got you. It took me all of less than 24 hours of being released on my own recognizance for me to hear God. And okay, you know what? You ain't never got to tell me to do nothing twice. But yet there are other people that no matter what God does with them, man, and I'm looking at it. I see it now. I see God, and that's even Christian people. I'm watching God, and I'm like, you ain't learned yet? This here ain't woke you up? And see, for me, it's really a head scratcher, because for me, it don't take all that for me. So for me, when I look at you and you got to be scrounging around on the ground and eating dirt, and I'm like, yo, you ain't ready yet? What's happening here? That's the way God understands you. He understands that he's not going to get from you if he smashes and suppresses you completely. So there's that mercy and grace, even for those of us who have not given our lives to him. Because if he had smashed me, maybe I wouldn't have given it, and I was like that, I wouldn't have given my life to him when I did. In order for us to get to giving our lives to him, we can't be in the dirt. And that way, we think, we're at the point where we can think. But like I said, others, it would take longer. It has taken longer for others. And God doesn't want it. That's not what he wants for his children. You know, that old saying, it hurts me more than it hurts you. That's God. God hates to see us smashed more than we hate to see ourselves smashed. How do I know? Because we keep running right into that wall. Oh my Lord, no matter what, we just keep running into the same wall, and somebody looking at you going, you ain't learned yet? And you're like, no, you ain't saying the words, but you keep going back. God don't want this. God does not he gets no pleasure out of that. So thank God for his mercy and grace. So the mercy and grace is you hear every day, hearing me say, give your life to the Lord. Somebody else is saying, give your life to the Lord. The alarms and the sirens are saying, give your life to the Lord. The billboard is saying, give your life to the Lord. It's time. There's no time like the present. Let's jump on that bandwagon. You've been watching It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. I want to invite you to tonight. We're on tonight. Boy, it's been some journey. Brother Ainsley had, some death in the family, and there's been some crazy activities going on, and we have not been able to do our Thursday night review, My 2 Cents. Well, tonight we're on, and we are reviewing Mayor of Kingstown, Season 2, Episodes 4, 5, and 6 for sure. Okay? So please come join us. If you've been on that journey with us, boy, it's getting crazier. So you definitely want to join us for the laughter, for the fun, and let's find out if we need to kick it or click it. You've been watching It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Join us Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. where we discuss matters of the heart, mind, and spirit. As you go through your day, be sure to set your mind on things that are above, not on things that are on the earth. They will only serve as a distraction. Remember, prayer changes things. It's Pastor Steph signing off, and I want to thank my Due Time crew for always coming through big time. Thank you for hanging out with us and helping to keep that chat room alive. Please do not miss this opportunity to give your life to Christ right now. Please do not miss this opportunity to strengthen that relationship with the Lord right now, because later is not promised to any of us. Again, until tonight, gospel is right here on Facebook Live, Coach for Christian Life, or YouTube Live, a Close to Walk Christian Media Network at 7:30. Join Brother Ainsley, Shantice, and myself for another episode of My 2 Cents. We're going to be reviewing Mayor of Kingstown Paramount Plus series, Season 2, Episode 4, 5, and 6. We can't wait to have you with us. Until then, God spares. I love you.